Here we go, starting part 2 of our dragon. Let's get everything combined into one mesh here, and then we'll remesh. Whoops. Hope you guys are all having a great day. It is a Monday at the time of recording this, and the weekend was pretty good. I actually ended up going out and doing a hike, which is pretty awesome. Oh, actually, did I want to keep the wing skin separate for now? I think so, actually. Yeah, just for a bit. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I went hiking this weekend, and it was pretty cool. I did a trail that was like along the. This is gonna sound a little bit dramatic, but along the cliff line of the ocean, which is cool, and um, it took us out to like a point, an outlook. It was a little bit foggy, so we didn't really get the full outlook. We did get to see some wildlife, which was awesome. We saw um, there was like two different spots where we could see. Oh, great! This would happen. My tablet is not connected. All right, give me a sec. All right, there we go. Now it's back. But we got to see the elephant seals that were down there chilling, and that was pretty cool. They are absolutely massive. Not that I was thinking that they were small, but they're pretty cool, and they move like pretty quick considering all things. But those were pretty cool to see. Actually, before I move on from the elephant seals, it was cool because most of them were on land, but there was one in the water, and at first, first I thought it was a shark, like waiting on the shore, or waiting like right on the outskirts of the shore, and because they're so big in the water. And yeah, it just happened to be a seal that was doing its thing out in the water. But we also saw some deer, which I mean are pretty common, and then a coyote. And the interesting thing about the coyote is I thought it was going to be one of those moments that you see on like World's Dumbest People or whatever, because this coyote was blocking the trail, right? And we were walking, and as we were like walking along the trail earlier, there was like we could see people ahead of us, but there's still enough distance to where like we're not like walking with a random group of people. But by the time we got up to this coyote, there was like a pack of people on our side of him and then on the far side of him to where like the point goes. And bro was just chilling. He did not care about the people, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of like a popular-ish area. Um, kind of. Yeah, everybody was like waiting to see what this coyote was gonna do, if it was gonna like move off the trail or whatever. And then this one guy just like sends it and just like slowly walks right next to it and by it. And it ended up being fine, but like the whole time that he was like slowly walking by it, I thought the thing was just gonna like it could easily just turn and snapped on him at any point. Like it was that close. I'm not even exaggerating. It was definitely within like distance of both of them. Like he could easily reach over and touched it, and it could have easily like lunged at him, which that would not lead to a good day for that person. I probably have to go get tested for like rabies or something. But yeah, uh, eventually, after waiting maybe 5-10 minutes, it ended up just like slowly walking off the side of the trail over into like some tall grass. And so we continued walking, and it was definitely still fairly close. but far enough away where we felt comfortable to just walk by. And so we did. And we went out to the point and chilled out there just for like a short minute. Again, it was like really foggy, so we didn't get to quite see the full extent of the view, but it was cool. There was like this massive rock structure that had like a hole through it, and it was cool when the waves would come through. It would like splash and go through. But yeah, couldn't really see much further than that. Um, and then when we turned around and decided to go back, by the time we got to the same spot the coyote was in, he was back on the trail. And he wasn't moving this time. And we didn't realize it at first until we got a little bit closer, not too close, but a little bit closer, that he had caught a lizard. And I think he was like thinking that we were going to take the lizard or something. So he was like holding his ground. So we ended up walking into the tall grass, which thought for sure we were going to get ticks. Thank the goodness we did not. And yeah, that was our excursion for the day. It was a really nice drive out there. I really like that area. It's kind of one of those areas where um, you can go to, and there's just like tons of trails. No matter where you like which part you stop to, you can just pretty much keep going all the way out to the coast, and there's still going to be trails, which is what we did. And yeah, so that was my excursion. I'm glad that I got to go out for a bit. I've been talking about going on hiking, I think, in a few of these videos, and it's been a minute, but the weather's been getting really nice out here, so finally got to take advantage of the nice weather. It was foggy, like I was saying, but if we would have went like 2 hours later, it would have been like perfect day, because by the time we were leaving, it was like starting to clear up, of course. But yeah, that was pretty freaking nice. Good weekend. But yeah, that was my excursion for the weekend. And I came back and took a nap. And it's interesting because I've been running a lot on the elliptical, as I've also been mentioning in these videos. But actually being out like walking with elevation and stuff, even though it was a shorter walk than like what I run, I think it was like 2.5, maybe 3 miles of hiking. When I run 5 miles, but the elevation and stuff just adds a whole another level to it. So we got to walk up and down some hills. But yeah, we also discovered a new beach on our way back. We like on our way driving back home, we saw this sign for a beach that was just way out there, and it was pretty cool. It was like a huge beach, so we stopped there for a minute. I had never been to that beach, and checked it out, and now I have a new beach to go to. Such a nice drive out there. Again, like I've been saying in some of these videos, if you've seen them, everything is green, and like all the hills are green right now. And even in this area too, there's a lot of cows out, and a lot of cows, like a lot of cow farms, ranches, whatever. So it's always cool to see those guys out there. They definitely have some good views. Get to and now we are working on our dragon. So I think these are a little bit small. Kind of try to blend these legs into the body a little bit more, like the hips rather. But we should have another little hour session here before I have to hop off and do some other things. I started this morning doing some retopology on one of my other projects, and golly, Rotopa Flow just kept crashing on me. Actually, Blender kept crashing on me, and it was very frustrating. Lost my save a few times. I couldn't even get into my file a few times. It just like was driving me nuts this morning. Nothing like trying to hop on when you want to get some stuff done and the program just straight up doesn't let you. We just love that. This is one way you can beef up the legs. Definitely need to beef these up a bit. Let's go ahead and do a mask. Take care of this. Oh, I also finished the Witcher, which, man, that show was freaking awesome. I again, I was a little bit late to that, but I was like totally engrossed in that show. I'm looking forward to seeing how the new season comes out, or like when the new season comes out, and like how they keep it going. I was a little bit bummed to read as I was like looking some things up that Henry Cavill, I hope that's how you say his name, isn't returning as Gerald, Geralt, whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll give I think it's Liam Hemsworth a good shot, but dude, freaking Henry killed that role so good. Yeah, there was a lot of good twists in that show, but I also don't know like if it like follows the books or all that kind of stuff too. So I mean, some people could think it's probably bad because it might not be I can never say that word canonically correct. But yeah, just as like someone new to the series and new to the story, it was awesome. I was a big fan of all the creatures. There's a few binge sessions that I was watching it where I would get to a certain episode and it would be nighttime and I'd be watching it alone and in the dark. And yeah, I definitely thought I was gonna be getting some nightmares from some of the episodes, just from some of the creatures, but made it through. For a show that's like not like Game of Thrones, or I mean, just bear with me when I say that. Like as big as Game of Thrones or like something like that. The visual effects were awesome too. I was like really surprised. Like not just like the creatures, but um like the magic and stuff. It's all really good. I was really impressed. Sometimes I can get a little bit cheesy, especially like depending on the budget for shows and stuff. But it seemed like they had it going. All right, let's beef these legs up a bit. Been kind of doing things more human anatomy ish lately, so this is a bit different. But just like everything else, we just keep trying until we get the shape we like. A bit like calf muscle sort of thing. Okay, beef up the sides here. Just a bit. Jeez, my cat is like playing Twister, like disco ball dancing. And his litter box right now is going crazy in there. The knees going. Yeah, something like that. This inside of the knee. This outside of the knee going. That's too much. Let's bring this down just so we can kind of just get a quick little sketch of our shapes here. Let's work on these thighs a bit. I think we need to go up and around like this. Coming down that way. It's a good line there. That. And then let's add this ankle ball thing in here. And one on the inside. It's usually a little bit higher up. All right. I mean, we're not gonna act like it looks amazing yet, but it looks like we're getting our shapes in, which is good. Yeah, so I think this week I'm going to start learning Substance Painter. I which is why I'm trying to get the retopology done on some of my other works, because that'll be very helpful. For one, I want to learn it because it'll help me get better at texturing, and I think I'll be able to do some better stuff, and it'll be good for my portfolio. So I'll probably record that too. Just record my journey learning Substance Painter. But man, that was super frustrating this morning trying to get Blender to not crash on me with the Retopa Flow. I decimated my model and everything to super low and it was still crashing on me. Not sure what is going on there. But yeah, super frustrating. I think I'm not entirely sure. Part of it is I have one of the first 14th gen Intel chips or motherboards, and that was giving me a lot of issues when I first got this computer, and then it fixed for a while, and then now it's kind of doing its thing again, even though I updated the BIOS, which is like, wow, okay. First time I updated the BIOS, it like fixed. That's what fixed it first. But this second time, it really hasn't done too much. It's kind of a bummer. I spent a lot of time working on a different animation and it was just like crashing, like blue screening my computer like every 5 frames, if that. Sometimes not even one full frame would get finished before it would tank itself, which is just lovely when you spend, $5,000 on a PC. But that's the way life goes, I guess, sometimes. But yeah, super frustrating. It's frustrating because, like, for one, like the programs and stuff, obviously, like I was just saying, and the hardware is making it crash, and it's just frustrating to deal with. But it's like I'm trying to get some of this stuff on my portfolio so I could maybe get a job um, in the industry, and like an internship or something would be really sick. So I can keep learning and contribute to some projects. It just makes it really frustrating because I'm trying to make some changes, trying to get a good job, like I said, and going out on the hikes and trying different restaurants and stuff. And I want to go like travel, and that requires more moolah than I got right now. Yeah, something will come our way. Okay, I'm not sure I like this outer little area that I just sketched through there. We'll keep it just for now. Move on to these calves. So these, they kind of get really dug in and they give us like this outer area like that. Those definitely look jacked up. Okay, hang on. Let me just think it's gonna be from here and then up. I kind of come around this and then up, and then same on the inside. Might be doing it a little bit too dramatic here. Like that. But there's definite like indentation on them. Maybe that's not the right. Maybe we should something like that. Maybe we'll try it this way. Not quite. Let's try inflate. Okay. This kind of goes down into the foot, which could add some more volume down like that. I definitely think these feet need to be thicker. They definitely need to be wider, especially at the bottom. Alright, Just trying to get a better shape to work with here. Oh, sheesh. Alright. I'm trying to decide if I want to jump ship to working on the upper body for a bit. Okay, I'm now realizing from my reference image that we'll have some toes coming out of here, and those will be like the points of contact on the ground. This is just basically going to be like our nub. But if we can kind of build like where our toes are going to come out, which is not the part that I'm doing right now, then we should be good. So actually, I think I need to get like all the way out over here. Just trying to get a better shape of our feet to work with here. So there's quite a good amount of detail that's going to go into these, and they were definitely too thin for what is portrayed on my reference. So now, let's just get this a little bit wider and this a little bit wider. Work on some of where these toe bones are going to be coming through, like that. Something like that. And like that, maybe. Yeah. And then they'll come out a little bit. But we're going to build these up. Yep, like that. This one, I think, is a little jacked up. Alright, I mean, that kind of just gets us the idea. It's not really bread and butter yet, obviously. So now, there's like this separation here. Something like that. And yeah, it comes down into this little weird bone thing. And the inside isn't as exaggerated, but it definitely has a little bit of an indentation there. Thinking that this inside toe needs to come out more that way. Make this a bit bigger. Alright, let's hop over to the chest and neck. This needs way more volume. Honestly, I think we'll just use the grab brush here. This is like way too skinny. Either that or the head is too big. Alright, let's start sketching in some of our muscles. Start with the deltoids here. Where's my top-down view? I'll bring this over here real quick. Let me actually do the spine first. It's going to be kind of my guiding point a bit. Let's beefing it up a bit like that. Now we can start carving these muscles out. So right around this, I'm going to have something like that. Might be too long. To about, actually, maybe not. That. Then we're gonna have our traps, a little bit like that. And our delts are going to come through. Let's see, from the front, we want nice. Something like that. Into the middle of our arm. These are kind of giant. I think my proportion is a little bit off there, but we're gonna rock with it. I think maybe we'll go like this. Have a bit of a split in the delt there. From here, it's gonna be this back muscle. This is like too much. Holy cannoli, I'm hitting all the different wrong buttons there. Okay, our proportion is jacked up right now. So, how am I going to fix this? Because this needs to be hitting the middle of our arm. Something like that. Let's go ahead and erase this a bit. Erase it doesn't really erase. So let's see. If that's there, this is going to be kind of our endpoint. So we do want them to show from the front. Something like that. And then they need to both be out a little bit more though. Get this little extra point in. Start giving this guy some shape. I think these to be wider. Like that. Oh. Down just a bit, yeah. Get this back muscle sketched in here. Oh, there's Speed Racer. Cat just freaking flew by me. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty rough so far. So now we have this part that comes right in between our deltoid and bicep into our pecs. Holy cow. There's no way that did not get picked up in the mic right now. My cat is going hard right now. Sprinting around. He's got the Ferrari engine going. Alright, then right above this, kind of like where our collarbone would be, I guess. What's up? What's up, buddy? Yep, the world hears you, my boy. Probably gonna take a short break here. I said short break here shortly. Actually, probably be a decent break because it'll probably be about time to hit the gym as well. But little man's need some attention. Mm-hmm. That was the cutest meow. Alright, come on, relax. Relax now, go chase your micey again. Alright, we're getting some of this neck muscle going here. And then these two kind of come together. Like that. There's a bit of like indentation there. Back to this top view. Get some of this lat muscle in here. I think this is where this might be too broad, like that. And we'll put this lat in. Something like that. Let me just sketch this out here. Something like that, maybe? I'm not sure if that's too low or not. Actually, it's supposed to come off of this thing. This looks more like a sardine than a mussel. Bring a little bit of this back. Try to get this mussel in there. That maybe? That might work. Not quite how I want it to look. Maybe that's a bit better. Alright, let's work on this armpit.